What's up, everybody? So I'm going to give you a disclaimer and a little bit of a warning here. I'm going to spoil this for you. I fixed it and it was the ECU. So if you want to hear the true Hollywood story on how it all went down, stick around for the next, I don't know, however many minutes. I haven't edited this out yet, but last night I went over it in great detail, explained all the process, everything I did, and basically it ended up being the ECU. So I'll run you through the bike real quick and show you what I changed, and then we'll go to the Between the Fern style couch sit down where I tell you all about it. Alright, so here she is. This is the troublemaker. I don't know whether it's because it was one of the first monkey bikes, maybe to come to America. I don't know what. So essentially, there's a huge story to this, which I tell. I sat down last night and talked about it for a really long time. I'm gonna edit this out and see how long it takes. I don't know how long that story is, but here's the quick and dirty on it. So there's a couple of criteria that determine the bike to shut down like it did. One, the the ignition coil is not working right, and two, the injector is not working right. The other criteria is the tip sensor in there. If that sees the bike is tipped over, that will of course shut it down. And the last thing is the kickstand sensor right here. So those things will cause the bike to shut down like it was doing. So those are the things I focused on. So basically I swapped the ignition coil with the groms because everything on the grom was good. So I swapped the ignition coil, I swapped the injector, I swapped the O2 sensor, I swapped the spark plug, and that's about it on this side. I unplugged the tip sensor. It threw a check engine light, but it was just one of those things. So I knew that wasn't the problem because it threw a check engine light, and the cutting out problem did not throw any check engine lights. I unplugged all of my connectors, replugged them in, actually put dielectric grease in them. I swapped the engine operating temperature sensor with the groms, and I put the 15 tooth sprocket back on the front, the 34 in the rear, stock gearing. So the ABS was happy. Let's see what else. Bypass the kickstand sensor, swap the clutch sensor with the grom, and I don't know if there's too many more sensors I could have swapped. The only sensor I didn't swap is the intake air temp sensor up there, and that's externally mounted now with the man-in-the-box intake, so I had suspect on that, but it turned out that that was not so much one of the things that would shut the engine down. So after swapping all those things, kind of narrowed it down to there's something going on with this kickstand switch. And how I really nailed that down, that was my number one suspect after a while, because when I put the bike in gear and put the kickstand down, it should shut the bike down, and it didn't. So that's where I was really focusing on. So I swapped I swapped the kickstand sensor with the groms, and it still had the same activity with the grom sensor. And I actually put the monkey sensor on the grom, and it shut the grom down like it should. So I knew that wasn't the sensor. So basically all roads lead back to the ECU, the PGM. And you can see this one, I marked OEM, JA, it's my initials, and MON for monkey. That's because this ECU was the original ECU that was acting up in the bike. This is the stock ECU. So this cutting out problem started before all the ECU reflash and stuff. So basically the only things I had on the bike at the time when this started was the intake and the exhaust. Didn't have the cam, and I had the gearing. So nothing there really says that should shut the bike down. Those are not critical mods. Those aren't things that are going to kill the bike like it did. So I sent this ECU to DHM, and knowing it was having the cutting out problem, to see if he could maybe wipe the ECU and then reflash it with the tune for the intake exhaust in the cam. So I'm not sure if maybe that didn't happen or if that can't happen. I'm not sure. But anyway, something happened in this stock ECU that was causing an issue with that kickstand sensor circuit. Basically, it wasn't seeing the kickstand sensor, or it was ignoring it. So I don't know how that would have happened inside this solid state ECU. These are not serviceable parts. You just replace them. So luckily, I had bought a brand new stock ECU for the purpose of having a backup, because this is my only ECU for the bike. I didn't want to reflash it and then maybe turn the bike all back to stock again, or whatever the reason being. I just wanted to have a stock ECU that was not flashed. So that's what I threw in the bike, and lo and behold, it started working as it should. So the problem was definitely in the ECU. I know a lot of you all followed along with this, and that is the quick and dirty on it. So like I said before, there is going to be another part. The second half of this video is when I sat down last night and kind of went over the whole story, a lot of theory on ECUs and how this system works. So if you're interested in what I found along my journey, and maybe it'll help you troubleshoot during your journeys if you ever have them like I did. But yeah, so that's it, the ECU. So I'm going to stop it there. Also, you can see I put the stock pipe back on there. So I explain that in the next portion of the video too. All right, so grab a cup of coffee if it's the morning, grab a beer if it's at night, or whatever your favorite beverage is, because this next part is going to be a lot of me talking, which if you're watching my channel and you're subscribed already, it's probably something you're used to. So hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching.